Cuddle, minkie, Fireside, what's the difference? Let's demystify it this Thursday as we feed your passion. I'm Lori from Lori's Country Cottage. What's the difference? One of the things that's different is the name. Cuddle, minkie, those are usually the same kinds of fabrics. These are a little bit thicker ones. The pink one and the cream one on the end are the shorter pile, and these are a little bit thicker pile. The thinner pile are excellent for quilt backs, as is this corduroy looking one. These ones here have a beautiful sparkle on them, and you would think that they would feel rough, but they aren't, and the sparkle will stay. It will not wash off. There's some other thicker ones here. And the plush ones are good for blankets, little girls' jackets, or a jacket for yourself, or a scarf. Not exactly scarf weather. The lighter ones, the shorter pile, are good for quilt backs. Now, when you saw what those looked like, now let's head over to the Fireside. And the Fireside has a little bit different texture to it, almost like a terry towel look with a little loop to it. Not quite as plush. And all of these are 60 inches wide, so they make great quilt backs. One thing to remember is that there is a pile on it. You can't see too much on the Cuddle or on the Fireside, the pile, but you can really see it on the Cuddle. So you want or most people want your pile to be going down on your quilt. So from the top of the quilt to the bottom of the quilt. So this isn't something that you're going to piece two pieces together so that you'd have 120 inches, because your pile would be running across your quilt. Quilting in the Cuddle is beautiful. The luxurious feel of it and the positive and negative space that the quilting creates is beautiful. Here's another one. As you can see, it makes great backings. Now, this is the difference. This is Fireside. Not quite as plush. And this is Fireside. And this is Fireside. Again, the positive and negative space that the quilting creates is beautiful. Another thing that they do with the and it works very nicely with the more plush Cuddle fabrics, is do self-binding blankets. So this blanket has a binding that comes from the back. This is the same thing, but over the edge she's put a rickrack. This is a flannel, and this is the Cuddle. This one is made with a double gauze. And there's kits for this. Makes the blanket and what they call a lovey. And this is just a nice little cozy little thing that's great for throwing over top of a car seat. So to make a self-binding blanket, if you want a 2-inch binding on it, you would measure in 2 inches and 2 inches from the edge and mark a line. Yes, you mark 2 lines. So now you want to line up the 45-degree angle on the edge of your fabric and move this ruler so that it intersects your cross that you've made, your 2 inches and 2 inches, and draw your line at 45 degrees. This will give you your sewing line for the corner. Fold your corner and pin it along your sewing line. Check to see that it's pinned on the other side the same. Now you want to sew along this line. You trim your seam allowance to 1/4 inch and then you turn your corner. Your piece of fabric that you want to bind your blanket will just tuck in here, and then you will pin it and you will sew right along here. Best to sew it with a zigzag, then you can catch both edges. Again, the edge doesn't need to be finished because it will not ravel. And another idea that it suggests in the book is to put a stitching line here at maybe about 1/4 inch, just to hold your fold nicely. And the other thing they suggest is maybe through the center you want to stitch again, just as a top stitch to hold the layers together so that they will not shift. So that is a self-binding blanket. Take a look at the download for the free pattern and you can make your own self-binding blanket. Something else that's a lot of fun with the Cuddle are these critters. And these come in a kit. Everything you need is in the kit. They've all been excellent sellers. And these two come in a little kit as well for both. Ellie the elephant. And I think it's only 2 pieces, 2 pattern pieces. Isn't that something? The other thing that we have in Cuddle is these wide bags. And the wide bags are 90 inches wide. And remember, you want to put them on the back of your quilt with the nap running how you prefer, but most people prefer with the nap running down. So all of these are 90 inches wide. So if your quilt is less than 90, you can easily use that as your quilt bag. Well, I hope I've demystified Cuddle, Fireside, Minkie a little bit for you, and maybe you'll try it on your quilt bag. Get those quilts finished that you've been working on while you are isolated, and you can put Minkie, Cuddle, Fireside on the back. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Hi, I'm Lori from Lori's Country Cottage. I'm going to tell you a little bit about Minkie, Cuddle, Fireside. What's the difference and what are they used for? So, let me feed your passion. Maybe we'll cut. Hi, I'm Lori from Lori's Country Cottage. I want to feed your passion by telling you a little bit about Fireside, Cuddle, Minkie. What's the difference and what are they used for? I will feed your passion with a cozy fabric. For heaven's sakes. Let's try again.